Fuck. Fresh off the game into the stew. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Gridiron Junkies Sunday Night Football Recap, brought to you by fucking Podcast Junkies Network. I just went to the World Series earlier this week. I know it's not football, but fucking Texas Rangers, baby. How about them Rangers? A little bit of over the fence multiple times. It was a beautiful sight. Shout out to John Orlando for taking me there. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know that I got picked up by Bob Menery, and we did a bit of a vlog before the World Series game. Make sure you go check that out. That is on Action Junkies on Spotify or on Crack Wins on YouTube. A page that's about to be fucking blown up, people. You want to subscribe to it now. Help the subscriber count out for good old Bill Krakenberger. He's only got 406 subscribers. The subscriber count has literally fucking gone up 100 since we started redoing this, and we put a good little effort behind it. But now it's time to talk football. We were at the Raider game. Me and my lovely engineer. I have the hottest engineer actually ever.
Stop.
Ever in this world. What is up?
Hello.
What's up, hot engineer?
Happy Sunday. Hello. How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. Okay. The people are actually
That's all I got.
They're saying hello back to you behind there.
Wave to everybody.
I just let you sit on the hot seat there for a second. But hey, listen. Let's go to my solo cam because we're going to start it off with the Thursday night football game. The Thursday night football game was between the Steelers and the Titans. Steelers 20, Titans 16. This was a classic case of when you have a rookie quarterback who goes off, gunslinger-like, you need to bet for him to have over an interception. It didn't happen until 6 seconds left in the game, but listen, situations are situational. I predicted that. There was a lot of spots where you could have hammered this rookie quarterbacks throwing interceptions this weekend, and you would have been extremely profitable. But we're going to touch on all those. This was just the first of many. The Titans, Will Levis, he's obviously their answer. He's going to be the guy that solves a lot of problems for them out there in Tennessee because Ryan Tannehill's old. Okay, so you got to get used to Will Levis slinging the rock. But you got to just appreciate Derrick Henry while you have him. Derrick Henry is just a consistent 17 to 20 carries. He's going to get you over 70 yards, and he's going to make the defense have to respect the run, which is really good for a rookie quarterback until you need to score points at the end of the game. He throws a pick. He should have thrown a pick way sooner than that. There was multiple times where the corners for the Steelers proved why they're corners and not receivers. They just wide open, just right off the fucking hands. Like they have just concrete cement up for hands. So they didn't never catch an egg or anything when they were growing up. I don't know. Hit the jugs machine, corners. Okay, it makes you better. You will make more money. Check out Deron Bland for the Cowboys. 3 pick-6 touchdowns this year. Crazy. Now, there wasn't much else from that Thursday night football game other than Deontay Johnson scoring his first touchdown in a very long time. So for those of you who watch Barstool, you know that Jersey Jerry is always every week Deontay Johnson touchdown. And every week, everyone in that office bets it. And this past weekend, it hit. And it was just it was a magical moment. So shout out to them. Shout out to the Steelers, who are participating pretty well in a division that is a very difficult division. So they need to keep up. They needed wins like this to maintain themselves being in the mix. So moving on, though, to the first game of Sunday. Shout out to daylight savings time for the sole fact that we get that extra hour of sleep. not for the fact that it's 4:30 and the sun's going down. I'm not a fan of that. I don't think anybody is. If only Vegas adopted what Arizona does and they just don't move in Arizona. They just constantly stay. Fun.
Yeah.
A little
I
bit.
like that.
I don't know. I
I
already
just want it to be light outside as long as possible.
Correct.
Whatever we have to do that.
I will always say this. I need to migrate like the birds. Once I have the money, I will just never. There will never be cold.
We move with the seasons.
I will never, ever, ever buy a jacket. This is an anomaly. It's kind of just a fashion statement. Veterans Minimum. Make sure you check it out. Nick Days. I'm on that show on Mondays. Soon to be on Wednesdays. We're in, and hopefully in the future, and hopefully in the future, possibly even Monday and Wednesdays.
Oh,
yeah. But I don't want to. Listen, not my show. Not my show. I just got to keep putting good performances out there every single week. Make the people love it. That's what's going to get me back. 100%. That and repping the merch. Took a picture with Nick today at the Giants Raiders game. It was a cool moment. It gave me
and the merch.
Yeah, and the merch. Veterans Minimum. Make sure you go check out that page. On to the first game, though, in the morning slate. This was the Chiefs 21, Dolphins 14. It's one of those games where, God damn it, if you bet the Dolphins and you slept in just a little bit too long and you didn't see the start of that game, you woke up down 14-0. And you were like, 14-0?
No, 21-0.
21-0 at halftime. Yes, yep. 21-0 at halftime. And you're like, oh, my God.
And I was having dreams about this game because I had put in... I keep putting these bets in where 3 touchdowns in each half by each team. And I swore these were the teams to fucking do it. Didn't hit. I had dreams about it, and I woke up and I looked at the score. I said, damn it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
3 touchdowns by each team in each half.
The odds are incredible. The odds are incredible. It's gonna happen.
Tell them how many touchdowns that is. We did the math last night.
12 touchdowns.
Yeah.
12 touchdowns.
Just 12 touchdowns.
Yeah. That's what? 12 times 7. However many that is.
Somebody didn't do their multiplications right when they were a kid. You were a phony.
12 times 7?
Go ahead. Hit me with it.
Let's see. 12 times 7 is 60. 72, 84.
Wow.
There we go.
I grew up around football, so I already know all my multiples of 7 all the way up to like 47. You know, a crazy number. You know,
I'm a fan of 9.
I got animal crackers.
And 9 times, and I'm good. I'm solid.
Give me anything times 10. I'm amazing.
Oh, 10.
Shit.
10's a good one too. 5. 5's are easy.
But anyways, you were betting for an anomaly in this game.
It's gonna happen.
All we were hoping for, though, hey, listen, we put a fucking teaser in the night before. We never do this. So we normally bet on these games, ladies and gentlemen, like 9:40. 9:40 before 10 o'clock starts. The worst thing you can do in the sports betting world, especially because you got to shop for the line and you got to get the number right at where you feel confident at, not be at the whim of whatever the fuck's available at 9:40. So last night, we did a good job putting this teaser in. We knew the game was going to be in Germany. We take the Dolphins. We tease the Dolphins to +9. Oh, no.
+7.5.
+7.5. We had them teased up 6 points. So they were +1.5 point underdogs in Germany. We teased them up to 7.5. So I knew we just got to keep it close. And they scored back-to-back touchdowns in the third and fourth quarter. And then they had the opportunity to put the fucking game on ice, send it into overtime. I feel like they would have went for 2. Something tells me that they were for sure going to go for 2. They weren't going to leave the fans of Germany an overtime game. That's just not what you do. You win the game in regulation. Very authoritative, like very German. So the fact that the Dolphins had an opportunity there at the end just goes to show that their defense bowed up when they needed to, right? It's tough to stop Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes played incredible, but then at the end of the game, it really comes down to Tua on a 4th and 10, getting a low snap, fumbling the snap, falls on it, doesn't even try to make a play out of it. Attaboy, Tua, way to fall on that ball. Trust me, as soon as that happened and I knew we had the Dolphins at +7.5, I'm like, holy shit, they're going to fumble the snap. The Chiefs are going to recover this and just scoop and score it for a touchdown. Tua plays it smart. He had him +7.5 too. He falls right on that ball. Smart play, Tua. Smart, Tua. Smart play. Smart play. Okay. That game was super early. Germany. Okay. For those of you who slept in past that, now we're going to start off on the true Sunday morning slate. And we're going to start with the Vikings 31, Falcons 28. Josh Dobbs, who's been one of the greatest quarterback stories this year in the NFL, leading a dogshit franchise of the Arizona Cardinals to a 1-7 record. And I know it's like I say leading them to that, but the Cardinals covered the spread damn near every week he was in. I think he was like 6-1 covering the spread, even though they were 1-6. He gets traded to the Vikings in a perfect situation where Kirk Cousins is out for a minute. He's going to be out till at least next year for sure. And they needed somebody to keep them in the mix. And who better to get than Josh Dobbs? And Josh Dobbs absolutely proves himself today. The video of Josh Dobbs going into the locker room after the game, winning the game, and everybody just like fucking mobbing him and just like, it's got to be one of the coolest moments in the world. Cameron, Josh Dobbs goes off. Hit me with his stat line.
Yes, so Josh Dobbs, he was 20 for 30 for 158 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had 7 carries for 66 yards. That's impressive.
Baller.
First practice on Wednesday. First practice was on Wednesday.
Baller.
Didn't even know the people's names.
No.
Didn't even know their names.
How could you? How could you? I can't. I barely even know the
met you a
people's.
couple days ago. I don't even know what's your name.
It's easier to play football that like there's less expectations. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people don't understand that where it's just the storyline can sometimes crush people. You know, like the Kirk Cousins. Oh, like you make sure like, you know, you have to perform on primetime games because you've developed the name of not performing on primetime games. When you're coming into a new team, the expectation and the barrier is so low. Oftentimes that lowering of expectation allows these quarterbacks to play with freedom.
Yeah, less pressure.
And he dominated, and he throws a game-winning touchdown. And like I said, he gets mobbed in the fucking locker room. It was amazing. I myself was shocked, absolutely shocked. One, because I didn't think he was playing. They said that all week Breece Hall.
Well, he was. He did play, and then he got a concussion in the first quarter.
And then he gets hurt, right? I think he. I'm not sure if he did throw an interception or not, but
I think he did.
That would have been. Let's give it that agander.
Let me do a fact check.
Give me a fact check on that. But anyways, I was definitely looking. I was like, okay, he's for sure going to throw a pick, and then. You know, I never would have imagined Josh Dobbs coming in. If Josh Dobbs was listed as the starter, this game makes me question it just a little bit. He didn't throw a pick.
No.
Didn't throw a pick. Got the concussion before he threw a pick. But that would have happened. That would have happened. Taylor Heinicke goes 21 for 38 for 268 yards. Throws a touchdown, but also throws a pick. The Falcons need to stay with this guy. Stop with the Desmond Ridder project. Taylor Heinicke is your quarterback. You need to believe in the Taylor Heinicke process. That's not necessarily Taylor Heinicke's fault. He puts up 28 points on the board, and you guys lose to a fucking quarterback that doesn't know anybody's name. Like, come on, that's a defensive issue. And they have to know it's a defensive issue. On to the next game, though, and this one was an absolute snooze fest of a game. Browns 27, Cardinals 0. I said yesterday, as I was putting in our bets, I was like, let's take the over tease down. So 38.5 was the over under. We teased it down to 32.5. It was a 6-point tease. I remember saying it. I was like, can the Cardinals score a touchdown tomorrow? Because I knew the Browns defense was legit, but then I was playing it in my head. I was like, they're for sure not going to score in the first and second quarter. Could they? I was relying on a third quarter out of halftime game plan to score a touchdown, or we're getting our asses blown out garbage time touchdown. Neither one of those happened. And fuck, you just witness this over that was already teased down in your favor just go disgustingly under. And the Cardinals never even got into position. This was a person that I was like, okay, rookie quarterback, Clayton Tune, 11 for 20, 58 yards, 2 picks.
Damn.
We couldn't put in the amount of interceptions that these quarterbacks would throw on our app. We don't have like FanDuel. I was thinking about it. We drove plenty last night for no reason. We came here to pick up the GoPro from the studio.
Oh, true.
Couldn't even bring the fucking GoPro into the stadium. We may as well just drove to Arizona and put in that Clayton Tune was going to throw 2 interceptions on a little FanDuel play.
Next time.
Fuck. That's upsetting because I knew it was bound to happen. All these rookie quarterbacks, they need to prove themselves. They're going to throw picks, except for Aiden O'Connell. We'll get to that beauty. Deshaun Watson in his shoulder injury return goes 19 for 30, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns. It didn't matter. It didn't. This was like legitimately the easiest game to choose of the weekend. The only thing that was challenging was choosing over or under. Even if the Cardinals score a touchdown, that game goes under. So they were relying on the Cardinals to score at least 10 points. That's crazy. Like, especially knowing how good the Browns defense is. The next game that we're going to discuss, that's enough of Clayton Tune. Packers 20, Rams 3. Fuck.
Fucking Rams.
Like, God damn it with these Rams. And I should have known. I was like, Matt Stafford means that much to the team.
I didn't know he wasn't playing. I was unaware.
Matt Stafford means that much to that team. And I was looking at the Green Bay Packers just being just a fucking horrible team this year, which they are. But so are the Rams. Like the Rams and the Seahawks are like the biggest 2 fraud teams in that NFC West division. Because legitimately a week ago, I was like, possibly. You know, like Seahawks win a couple of games here that are big. Then the Rams have a couple of spots to win a couple of big games. And then that division is pretty wide open because the 49ers were on a skid. Boy, was I wrong. Cameron, you have something from this game. Hit me with it.
Yes, so the Packers got a touchdown early in the second quarter, and that was their first time in the end zone since September 17th in the first half of a game.
Wow.
First half of a game, first time in the end zone.
Last week you brought up the stat that it was they had been outscored in the first half 73-9. This, adds to the opposite side total. So they're pumping those numbers up, but it was in the second quarter. Like, at least they did it. And it was in Lambeau. This was one of those games where I was not confident putting it in, and I got to start realizing it's not like sometimes people say that uncomfortable bet feels like you should make it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm making this bet because I feel a little uneasy about it. However, if you're just so sure that this game is going to fuck you, like there's that fine balance between I dislike this play and no, George, you're an idiot if you put this in. The Rams was the no, George, you're an idiot, and I still put it in. The Green Bay Packers offense finally explodes. They get 391 total yards. They had 21 first downs. The Rams only had 187 yards and 10 total first downs. So the Packers basically doubled their entire stat line. Yeah. Not a good look. Not a good look for the Rams. This next game surprised the shit out of me. Just because of how quickly these teams put up points. Commanders 20, Patriots 17. This is a big win for the Commanders. They've been on a slide that is damn, do we fire Ron Rivera in the middle of the season type of slide? We're trading away key assets on the defensive line. Are we tanking? Like this was a weird place to want to choose the Commanders, but that led me to choose the Commanders. Like I was pretty confident that even though there was a lot of turmoil, you get a lot more people that are playing with little to no expectations, and a lot of them stepped up to that occasion, and they scored a lot early. It was 14-14 relatively soon into that game. But, Cameron, this is Commanders making history in a sense. Hit me with this stat.
Yeah, so this is the Commanders' first win in New England since 1996. We weren't even born yet. They have not won there in our lifetime.
Since we've been born.
Crazy.
It's really the
Nice.
Commanders' first win
them.
every time they go to a new place named Commanders. Okay? Because they didn't say in the article Redskins/Commanders.
But then, I mean,
Bitches.
we're just making the assumption because Commanders weren't a thing in 1996.
But you could just, it makes for good headlines. Commanders'
You put it in
first win.
parentheses.
Commanders' first win here. Commanders' first win every new week that they're winning at a new location. That would be pretty cool. The Commanders' late interception in the game really helped seal the deal. And the Commanders, ladies and gentlemen, are 4-5. The next week, they play the Seahawks in Seattle. This is a NFC wildcard game. You need to win this to have that head-to-head battle in your favor. These are two teams that are going to be right there on that bubble line, or teams that are in the hunt in that graphic. That game is going to be a very good one to watch because the Commanders, if on this somewhat upswing, and they're not necessarily in tank mode, or they're just like in this rebuilding process, a lot of people can fade them. I'm probably going to take the Commanders next week because the Seahawks are fraudulent, and I will get to them soon enough. The Seahawks are fraudulent. Other than that, the Patriots next week, okay? This is a holy shit, the Patriots are 2-7. Bill Belichick's probably done with the Patriots. Probably. Maybe. Hot seat is for real. And this upcoming week, they go to play in Germany. So we had a amazing Germany game. Dolphins versus the Chiefs. Something super cool to give the people of Germany. And then we're like, okay, here's the Colts, here's the Patriots. Have fun. This is like this is good, yes? No.
You like
No.
football?
You like football, yes? 9. Josh Allen. Yes. Other than that, there's nothing. Like, the Patriots are in a horrific spot. Ramondre Stevenson had a 64-yard touchdown. Shout out to the Vegas boy. Enough of that. Let's go, Saints. Saints 24, Bears 17. I know I went on a rant earlier this year about getting rid of Taysom Hill because he was confusing our offense. He just does everything. He legitimately, like, they showed his breakdown graphic at the beginning of the game. Taysom Hill plays quarterback this amount of times, running back this amount of times, tight end this amount of times, receiver this amount of times, slot receiver this amount of times,
Jeez.
punt return, kick return. Like, they broke it all down, and you're like, yeah, nope, he's him. But I always ask the question, is Taysom Hill a player that is going to get put into the Hall of Fame? And it's a weird thing because obviously, ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't have an amazing record book for an entire year in a singular position, which a lot of these Hall of Famers do, but he has played as a utility player and been a key role as a utility player for the Saints for 7 years. So this sustained success, being a utility player, he had a passing touchdown today, and he had a rushing touchdown today. He also had more rushing yards than Alvin Kamara. He also had more carries than Alvin Kamara. He had 11 carries. Alvin Kamara had 9 carries for 26 yards. The dude's legit. And I know I said we wanted to get rid, because he is a bit of a fucking mind fuck, especially for a new quarterback. See, I feel like we had a good thing going with Drew Brees. When Taysom Hill is doing everything and Derek Carr standing on the sideline, it's an ego deflator. Because you're like, shit, I guess they don't need me. But Taysom Hill deserves a fucking statue in front of the Saints stadium for the remainder of time after this. He is one of the greatest Saints players of all time, without a doubt. Tyson Bagent, rookie quarterback, throws an interception last week. I believe he maybe even threw 2. This game goes 18 for 30, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns passing, 3 interceptions. He was playing D2 football not too long ago. Okay, he's going to throw fucking picks. Like, Josh Allen throws picks. Josh Allen leads the league in interceptions, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
He played at Wyoming. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. On to the Ravens, 37, Seahawks, 3. Boom, period. Seahawks are frauds. They were 1 for 12 on third downs today. This team, yesterday, I was about to click on their name because I'm doing this mental gymnastics of I want the machine to know that I'm fading them. Like, oh, I'm going to click on the Seahawks. I'm going to click on the Seahawks. And then I'm like, bitch, Ravens. Boom. So that way the machine thinks I'm clicking Seahawks. Click Ravens because
like,
I am fading them all year. When I think I should take the Seahawks, I fade them. Next week versus the Commanders at home, what does George want to do?
Take the Seahawks.
George wants to take the Seahawks. Seahawks, let me just say. Commanders, bitch! Fuck out of here. This fraud-ass team. They only play good when George needs them to play good. So trust me, I'm doing the mental gymnastics with you next week. Commanders. Or is it Seahawks? What? Commanders, bitch! There's not much to talk about a fucking ass whooping. There was plenty of ass whoopings today in the NFL. This was ass whooping Sunday. It was just dominating. There's so many games in the afternoon slate too that's just dominating. Lamar Jackson was getting jiggy with it. Lamar Jackson was fuck. They dominated him, Cameron.
They did.
They dominated him so bad. This is a time of possession that I have not seen all season. The Ravens had the ball for 40 minutes. 40 minutes.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
The Seahawks only had the ball for 19 minutes.
Eesh. It's not how you win a football game.
No.
No.
Poor
Unless you're getting touchdowns in those 19 minutes.
Poor Seahawks, man. They're frauds. They're frauds.
Watch.
Just not even on watch anymore, Cameron.
Taken off the watch list. They're just
stamp
on
them.
the list.
Stamp them. Frauds. And they still might make the playoffs. That's a crazy thing. That's the crazy thing.
Interesting. How?
Next game. Texans 39, Buccaneers 37. Cameron's got a stat.
So CJ Stroud, he set a rookie record of 470 passing yards and 5 touchdowns. No interceptions. Impressive. Great pickup. I just
love hearing that.
Great pickup for you.
I just love
Great
hearing
pickup.
that. Who picked him up in the Gridiron Junkies Fantasy Football League?
Wasn't me.
It was this guy. Okay? I'm a huge fan of taking rookie quarterbacks. Just what I do, Cameron, is I draft them and I say, Hugh, come here. Come under my wing. Come under my wing. It's okay.
You're going to lead me to a victory.
It's okay in here, buddy. It's okay. Hey, listen, we're not going to throw an interception. Interceptions are killers. So just don't do that for a very long time. You're eventually going to throw it. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, but listen, start playing with a little bit of swagger, okay? You need to start playing with a little bit of swagger, all right? You got it in you. So after a touchdown pass, I want you to do this touchdown dance.
Is that his dance?
He fucking, he was just standing there, post up,
yeah,
motherfucker, I'm him. I'm him. God, 5 touchdown passes. I have him on my fantasy league. CJ Stroud underneath the Carmona wing right now. Just doing phenomenal. Okay? I don't want to tell you what I got in store just in case any teams watch this show and they want to know what's coming next from underneath the wing. But just know I got something special. That was pretty stupid. If you're watching this, or if you're listening to this on audio platforms, I just put my arm up like a wing. Like a wing. Like a wing.
For CJ Stroud to come under.
Ayo.
Whoa.
Whoa. He ain't coming. He ain't coming nowhere. He could sit there, but he ain't coming nowhere. Not under my wing. On to the afternoon games. Colts 27, Panthers 13. Man, Bryce Young. I didn't take Bryce Young under my wing. I was like, hey, listen. I don't want that. I want CJ Stroud under the wing. You want to know what happens when you're not under the wing, you're underneath somebody else's wing? Throws 3 interceptions. He throws 3 interceptions. Poor Bryce Young, 24 for 39, 173 passing yards. He did throw a touchdown. Good on him. But the Colts win games, and they stay competitive in games, and it doesn't matter who the competition is. The Colts are always putting up a good fight. Gardner Minshew is similar to like Josh Dobbs, where it's just like you just keep him alive. However, unlike Josh Dobbs, he's winning games. Well, Josh Dobbs won today, but Gardner Minshew's helping this Colts team win games. And the Colts are currently 4-5 right now. Let me list off the games that they got coming up. I told you guys earlier they're going to be playing the Patriots in Germany next week. I'm going to chalk that up to a Colts win. That gets them to 5-5. Then they play the Buccaneers. Bit of a shaky, fraudulent team. They can play them with enough, gusto to beat them. That's at home. Gets them to 6-5. Then they have like a 3-game tough slate where they go at the Titans, at the Bengals, and then home against the Steelers. If they can win 2 of those, okay, that gets them to 8-6, and then they finish Falcons, Raiders, Texans. So there's a world in which these Colts can win 10 games this year, and after losing Anthony Richardson, after all the turmoil with Jonathan Taylor, it's something that I would have figured unfathomable for this Colts team. But I kind of can see this path, especially if they start getting the ball to Josh Downs a little bit more and Jonathan Taylor starts picking it up and he's more consistent. This is a team you should be worried about, just like the Raiders. And that's the next game that we're talking about. Raiders 33? 30 to fucking 6. My bad. Raiders 30, Giants 6. We were at the game. Just because I forgot the score doesn't mean that I wasn't at the game, people. Okay?
We were there.
Bought a Topo Chico. Actually, let's just go through the day. Okay? The bus that takes people to the games from Red Rock. I don't know if we were just in the biggest traffic jam of all time. It took us 45 minutes and we were standing. We chose standing room only because I've taken this before. It's usually like a 20-minute ride. Not only were we standing, but this dude was slamming the brakes.
He was a interesting driver.
Fucking, I had a low base it the entire time, make sure I don't.
Forearm workout.
And I had an old lady right behind me. I'm like, holy shit, if I get flung into her, I will kill her. I will fucking pop her head like a gusher on that wall. That would not be good. We had 4 seltzers in our little baggie and a little go bag and 2 Red Bulls. We downed one in the bus ride. Then outside, we slammed like another one, each one of us. And at that moment in time, I was like, holy shit. It's 12. A lot of carbonation. It's 12:35 and I'm feeling tipsy. So then we proceeded to go walk into our gate. Cameron almost got her bag confiscated.
Oh my God, of these bitches.
Go on a fucking rant about this shit.
Bitches. Oh, it's in the car. My bag is regulation size, okay? It's regulation size. And they have that little piece of paper that they stick up to it. And walking in, the guy, he put it up next to my purse. He said, I don't know. They might not let you take this in. But he said, go ahead anyway. And then the lady, she let me in. But she put it up. She put the paper up to my bag. And she waited for a second. It was like a centimeter bigger. They let me through, though. But, I mean, what is that going to do? What's that going to do?
Cameron, I wanted the same thing because it's like...
half inch. If you're not going to let me take that in. Oh, my goodness.
That half inch. Shit.
It's a lot.
Sometimes they can't take it. Sometimes they can't take that half inch.
But you're going to let a fucking...
You got to force that half inch in,
tote clear bag in, but you're not going to let me take my little bag in.
No,
they let me take it in.
Cameron.
Crisis averted. I didn't have to fucking fight anybody today at the Raiders game.
She just put her arms up to tussle, for those of you who were wondering what she was doing. She's getting a little aggressive back there. We'll change from the subject. We go in. We buy some Topo Chicos immediately, right? Because not financial decisions, right? Because we're way past that, right? I already know.
You need a Topo Chico.
I already know we don't make the best ones of those. But we're talking about life decisions here. I've just been on a constant, what has it just been? Seltzer. We finally get into the game, and the Raiders, 3-and-out to start the game, score a touchdown on the first drive, get another stop on a fourth down where the Giants, they were just so fucking discombobulated, these poor Giants.
Yeah.
And then Daniel Jones, sorry, Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones hurts his ACL, and I knew it. I actually had sent Nick Days a text saying, ACL, $40 million down the drain. And this was because the way he fell, it was 2 sacks where he literally fell on himself, and I was like, that's not an Achilles. An Achilles is like, you can see where they're grabbing it. This dude, he like hyperextended his knee or something. Done. Tommy DeVito comes in. I start to, DeVito! Ayo, DeVito's in! Raiders! And DeVito played like shit. I mean, it was just like imagine throwing a raw steak out to a bunch of lions. And he was just running like, a raw steak doesn't have any legs. So let's
a raw steak with legs.
Tommy DeVito has legs.
Maybe a chicken.
Imagine a fucking, a New York hoagie.
Also doesn't have legs.
With some fucking legs. Just imagine it with some fucking legs. That's what Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito was out there running around looking like an Italian sub. And Max Crosby was eating that sub. Max Crosby was all over the place. The Raiders played insanely good. If I was to compliment the Giants on anything, Saquon Barkley's fast. So good. You see Saquon Barkley in that backfield and you're like, when will you get your upgrade, my friend? Like Christian McCaffrey was running the ball for the fucking Panthers for 5 years.
Oh, really?
And then Christian McCaffrey, middle of the season, gets plopped on over to the 49ers. And then everyone's like, wow, Christian McCaffrey, he was good. He's like really good. Everyone's going to say the same thing about Saquon. He was good over there. I mean, like next to that DeVito kid, that DeVito gave him some really good handoffs, but then it's going to be the ultimate glow up. He's going to go play for a team that like maybe the Ravens.
Oh, be good.
Possibly.
How long has he been on the Giants?
So I think this is year 4 or year 5. He's been injured. It's been an injury kind of guy. Mileage. But fast as a motherfucker. And if he was, on a team that actually had like a good quarterback and, like a team that can, move the ball down the field and, a team that didn't have to rely on him to do absolutely everything, he actually could be something pretty good. But let's talk about the Raiders just a little bit more so I can put the clip together right now. Raiders before this game to make the playoffs was a 10-1 bet. This is something I'm going to be tracking all year because I'm pretty sure that the Raiders are going to continue to lower that number and they are going to be in this bubble spot playoff contention. Obviously, bubble spot. They're not going to overtake the Chiefs. However, the AFC in the middle right now is just a hodgepodge of bullshit. You got the Colts, who I made an interesting case to have a lot of wins. The Raiders play the Colts on New Year's Eve. That's a game that I was wanting to highlight for the sole fact of New Year's Eve, a chance to make it to the playoffs. You need that head-to-head win so that way you're ahead of them in the standings. Pay attention to it. Pay attention to that game because that's going to be one that has a lot of implications when typically a lot of people don't watch football on New Year's Eve that isn't like the bowl games.
Good point, yeah.
So This one's going to be really, really interesting and entertaining. And I would love to see a game with implications on New Year's Eve like that.
Ooh.
Other than that, Aiden O'Connell looked very good. Antonio Pierce, new coaching staff. He animated. Josh McDaniels, I legitimately witnessed every single game as his head coaching reign. He would just be like this. Antonio Pierce just showed a little bit of life for me. And by the way, if you're just listening only, I was just like looking like Josh McDaniels, so whatever that means to you. But Antonio Pierce will give him a little, he was fired up. He was giving the boys like the little knuckles, you know what I mean? Like a little like fucking let's go. I myself have a pulse. Unlike Mr. McDaniels, I have a pulse. Refreshing change on the Raiders sideline. I like the Raiders to make the playoffs. Fuck it. I love the Raiders to make the playoffs. You can feel it. Davante Adams now, his main bitching gripe is over because it's been a long run for Davante. And if I'm not mistaken, okay, Davante Adams had a huge role to play in Josh McDaniels being out of there.
You think?
There's no way that he didn't fucking see Mark Davis one day in a back out. I would love for this story to come out one day. It'll be Davante Adams on a podcast talking about, one day it was just me and Mark Davis, and I kind of just told him, I was like, he's lost the locker room. Like, he's lost us. Like, I don't want to play for him anymore. He's not making, our life fun. Like, we don't like football anymore.
Oh.
Boom.
Damn.
Davante Adams loves football now. Again. It's amazing how much power superstars have.
Like Magic Johnson.
Fuck, yeah. You'd be surprised, dude. You'd be surprised.
What was the coach's name?
You're telling me Mark Davis isn't like, hey, listen, if there's any issues, you come straight to me. Come on now. Come on now.
I bet. I wouldn't doubt it.
The shootout of the Sunday afternoon slate. Eagles 28, Cowboys 23. Man, I really was hoping for regular season Dak Prescott to pull out a victory in the end. However, lots of fuckery. We weren't able to watch this game because we're on the bus ride back. But I am looking forward to giving a little more deeper dive into this game. We were led on to the fact that just Jalen Hurts was injured early on in that game, but he ended up coming back, and he leads the Eagles to a win over a division rival. At home, which is what you need to do when you're playing your division rival. You got to win the one at home. And if you can steal the one on the road, that's even better. The Eagles, Jalen Hurts was 17 for 23, 207 yards and 2 touchdowns. But the real story was Dak Prescott was regular season Dak Prescott. He goes off. CeeDee Lamb goes off. It was just a situation of they made the last mistake, or they made the only mistake. Cowboys, 1 turnover. The Eagles had no turnovers. Oh. But Dak Prescott, 29 for 44, 374 yards, 3 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb, 11 catches for 191 yards. Very, very, very impressive night for the Cowboys as far as the offense is concerned. These are the fun ones to watch. We watched a fucking snooze fest, the Raiders and the Giants. It was fun in its own way of seeing a team and franchise crumble right in front of our faces as the Raiders resurge with their new coaching staff. This game, though, was like boom, 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 boom. It would have been amazing to be at. There was in the article I was reading, they showed Bryce Harper on the big board, and everyone goes crazy. Yeah, you said, I thought they might have booed that motherfucker.
How you gonna boo him?
They lost to the Diamondbacks.
But he's still like
I get it.
Bryce Harper. He's still one of the best
players. But
Philly's
just tired of fucking losing, I would imagine. They're rewarding losers. Are we really cheering for Bryce Harper now?
Well, he did take them to
They're
the
a rough
playoffs,
Cameron,
right?
Cameron, here's the thing. Like, I agree with you, and they should not boo him. But, like, if any fucking franchise or any city to do it, it would for sure
be Philadelphia.
Yeah,
I see that.
Like if the Phillies came in dead last place in the majors this past year, possibly. Possibly he gets the boo.
Yeah.
The boo birds. On to Sunday Night Football. Bengals taking on the Bills. So this game is it's been playing right in front of my face the entire time. Right now, the Bengals are up 21-7. It's in the third quarter.
I think it might be 10.
Is it 10? Yeah, 20. Oh, Bengals are up 21-10. It's in the third quarter. The Bengals have the ball. And this game, we got to see the Joe Burrow bloody fingernail, which is an all-time classic look. That was pretty disgusting to see, but they said they sanitized it and everything. Yeah, I don't know if it was his nail that ripped or if what happened, but ooh, that hurts.
Yeah.
It hurt to see. You seeing that, I was like, fuck.
I wonder how it happened.
Yeah, I know. That's weird. But the Bengals have been just boom, boom, boom down the field. Josh Allen continues to make mistakes like he always does every game, throwing an interception. I don't think he'll throw another one. Okay, but let's just go through this here. We are witnessing a 3rd and 6. The ball is on the Bills' 15-yard line. They're going to call a timeout. Never mind. Fuck, I was going to go through a little play-by-play here to tell you what the Bills do on a 3rd down that's pretty critical. Bills down 11 points in a game that matters a lot for playoff predictions. They said that if the Bills were to win this game, that they would have a 70% chance of making the playoffs. Oh. If the Bengals win this game, the Bengals have a 64% chance, and then the Bills have a 40% chance. Oh. So this is a huge game for playoff implications.
Must win.
Must win, some could say. Nick Diaz from Veterans Minimum has been hammering the Bengals fucking nonstop on them to win the Super Bowl. He also has a Joe Burrow to win the MVP award at 20-1. He couldn't make out. He couldn't make out on a lot of money here, but there's still a long way to go, not only in this game, but in the season. Shit ton of implications. There are not that many implications in our Monday night football game. Our Monday night football game, Chargers are 3.5-point favorites at the Jets. The over-under for this game is 39.5. To me, Cameron, and you can give your response to it after, this is a take the Jets up to 10 points, or up to
9.5.
9.5, and then take the under.
Ooh.
Because I don't imagine a lot of points being scored.
See, but I feel sometimes the Chargers score a lot of points.
I get you.
Sometimes.
I get you. They're traveling coast to coast, primetime game against a really solid defense.
Oh, okay. I like it. Because what it'll be?
Think
45?
about this. The last time the Jets were on Monday Night Football, obviously Aaron Rodgers goes down with a torn Achilles, but they beat the Bills.
Oh.
So.
I like it.
I love it.
I like it.
I love it. So that is it for this week's Gridiron Junkies NFL Week 9 recap. It was fun. Thank you to my parents, Fernando and Gail, so much for giving us the tickets, as well as Uncle Kiki and Aunt Odie. Uncle Kiki has been on the show before. I need to have him back on so we can discuss how the Raiders can make it to the playoffs. This was a fun one, and I hope to see you guys all next week. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it to your friends. I'm George Carmona at Gridiron Junkies, is where you can find a whole bunch of cool other football content. Cameron.
Hello. You can find me at CameronLee97 on Instagram.
Run that podcast junkie stinger, baby. We out.